so after that you're gonna play an open A string, and then you're gonna tap it again. So bottom 3 strings, tap, pull off, ring finger on the 3rd fret of the E, tap, go to the F, play the top 3 strings, open A string, tap. So all together. Alright, so after that you're gonna place your pink on the 3rd fret of the E string. You can let go of the F now because you tapped everything shut, so there's no need to keep some resonance from previous chords. It's dead anyway. So you're gonna place your pink on the 3rd fret of the E, then you're gonna play an open A string, and then you're gonna place the pink on the 3rd fret of the A string. So all together. Now we're going to go to a G7 chord, which is middle finger on the 2nd fret of the C string, index finger on the 1st fret of the E string, and your ring finger on the 2nd fret of the A string. Sounds like this, pretty jazzy, right? So you're going to pluck them all together. So G, C, E, A, pluck them all at the same time. No tap this time. Then you're going to take off your ring finger and play the open A string. So it looks like this. Then you're going to put your pink on the 3rd fret of the E string. And then you're going to play the 1st fret of that E string. So take your pink off. Your index finger is already there because you laid down a G7 chord. So altogether it sounds like this. And this melody, it's a little bit faster, so it's not like, but it's... Then you're going to tap all the strings shut again. And then you're going to release all the fingers. And you're going to play the top 3 strings. So it sounds like this. All together from the very beginning. Like that. Okay, so now you're going to play the 2nd fret of the A string and tap it again. So the momentum is bum bum. Then you're going to lay down a C7 chord, which is index finger on the 1st fret of the A string and the rest open. Also sounds very jazzy. So all together. Then you're going to pluck all the strings of that C7. After that you're going to play an A string and you're going to strum the bottom 3 strings. Just try to aim for the bottom 3 strings. If the top one also joins in, it doesn't really matter. But for the sake of the taps, what's written over there, the bottom 3. And then gently you're going to hit the open G string, like that. So it sounds like this. When you speed it up, the groove will come the more you practice it and the more this gets registered in your memory. So really don't worry about getting the groove right now, just focus on getting the notes and having fun. I mean, that's what this is all about anyway. So after that you're going to get an F chord, you're going to strum all the strings. Like that, just a downstroke, followed by a tap. So it sounds like this. Then you're going to put your pink on the 3rd fret of the E string, and then you're going to do a pull off from the 1st fret of that string to an open string. Like that, so tap. Then you're going to put your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the G string and your ring finger on the 2nd fret of the C string, and then you're going to pluck those top 2 strings. Followed by an E string. So let me break it down. Strum on F, tap. So after that tap, you're gonna lay down a D minor chord. Actually, your finger should be already here on the G string and C string. The only thing you add is your index finger on the 1st fret of the E string. Sounds like this in total. Then you're gonna pluck the top 3 strings, followed by an open A string. So all together. Tap, and then you lay down a D minor, top 3 strings, A string, tap. If you speed it up. Tap. During this tap you reposition. Now you're going to put your index finger on the 1st fret of the G string and your middle finger on the 2nd fret of the C string. And then you're going to pluck the top 2 strings. Tap. After that tap, you're going to do a pull off from the first fret to the open E string, followed by a tap. So now you're going to put your index finger on the second fret of the G string and take off your middle finger from the C string. And then you're going to play the top two strings. So all the way from F. So now we're going to play an open E string straight after this, tap. So it's... The next thing you do is you're going to put your index finger on the first fret of the C string and leave the rest open. And now we're going to do a little arpeggio like this. G, C, E, tap. So G, C, E, tap. We're going to first lay down a D minor and then we're going to release the index finger, but it's going to come back, so this is why I said lay down a D minor. So now you're going to play G, C, E, tap, A. So the groove is, you see, so the index finger now comes back to the first fret of the E string. So it sounds like this. Now we're going to switch to G7. Keep your index finger here while you do the G7, like this. And now we're going to do the same arpeggio. G, C, E, tap. So all together. I'm going to lay down the whole G7 because of the part after this. So we're going to do a hammer-on from the second to the third fret of the A string. And then we're going to play the second fret again. So it's... If this is a bit difficult for you, or if you're just starting out, you can also just do 3-2. Because it's very difficult to do a hammer-on with your ring finger and pink. I understand. I have been in your position. It sounds like this in total. Then your pink is going to go to the third fret of the E string. Make sure the other strings are still resonating. And then finally you can take this off, no stretching, and then you play the top three strings open. The following part is the strumming pattern. Practice it in 2 segments. So first do block, down, up, down, up. Then practice the second part. Down, up, down. So it doesn't go up in the end because you have to go to a D minor again, and otherwise it would be too close to each other for the next segment. Now we're going to repeat the part from D minor, so you're going to lay down the D minor, then take off your index finger, and now you're going to do an arpeggio on the G, C, E string, tap. And then you're going to do the same arpeggio, G, C, E, tap. So G, C, E, tap, open A string, and now bring back that index finger just like we did last time. And now we're going to tap again. So now we're going to go back to the G7 like we just did. And we're going to do an arpeggio again. G, C, E, tap. And now it's not going to be... Now it's going to be a little bit different. So it's a little bit of a different melody, but you can also just repeat the melody that we just did. But if you want to diversify a bit, you can play a bit with the rhythm. So what I'm doing here, it's 3rd fret A string, 2nd fret A string, 3rd fret E string, 1st fret E string. This index finger should be already there. You see? Now we're going to take off all fingers again. And now we're going to do the following strumming pattern. Down, down, up, down, up. So this is basically the island strum, but if you're not familiar with that, I'm just going to break down the strums like this. Down, down, up. Try to do that as part 1. And then part 2, practice up, down, up. So we're going to finish off by strumming 2 chords. The first one is a bar chord. In case you don't know how to do a bar chord, don't worry, I have made a video about this, which I'm going to link right now, so you can click through and then come back. And then you're going to put your pink on the 5th fret of the A string like that. So you're going to do 1 downstroke with your thumb. You can also do it with your nail, it's really up to you. You do not hold this for long. 1, and then the second one is an E7, which you play like this. Index finger on the 1st fret of the G string, middle finger on the 2nd fret of the C string, open E, and then your ring finger on the 2nd fret of the E string. like that. And you're gonna strum it like that as well. So in total it sounds like this. And then you can decide if you want to put an open A string at the end. So together the last segment would be. So that's it. That is how you play Fly Me to the Moon in ukulele fingerstyle. Hope to see you soon in the next video.